So hello YouTube, my name is Vlad for Vlad.com, and this will be a quick look at HP ProBook 450 Generation 4. And of course it will be, well, unboxing. Now this box has got nothing special in it except this little sticker that says 3-year warranty. That's probably time before failure, I believe. Let's take a look at what's inside. First of all, we have standard power brick. Let's take a look. 65 watts, 3.33 amps, 19.5 volts, and their standard new connector. Okay. Is there anything else? No. Okay, so these are the HP setup instructions with their touchpad gestures. So basically connect to the power supply, turn it on and cry. Okay, this is, well, warranty in Croatian. As we can see, this is a ProBook which has i5, which is full HD. It has i5 7200U, 8 gigs of RAM, 256 gigabytes of SSD, and Windows 10 Pro 64-bit. This is a business notebook. So let's take it out. And okay, before we start, let's take a look at the upgradability. Why not? As we can see, this has an M.2 SSD, which is X400 SanDisk. It has 8 gigs of RAM, which is nice because you can upgrade it with another 8 gigs of RAM. And as you can see, you can install normal hard drive, which is awesome. And this is the Intel's wireless, and as you can see, this is the cooler which, well, which is all sealed up. Now, I'm not quite sure whether this is intake or not, but if it is, then that is a bad solution. And this is the BIOS chip. Okay, so let's close it and let's turn it on. Now this plastic is, well, I would say the word is jiggly. So on the left side there is a power connector. This is the fan grill, VGA, HDMI, USB Type-C, this is USB 3, SD card reader, and hard drive indicator. Again, all close together. It seems that's like the theme. And on this side we have a DVD drive, headphones / microphone, USB, and this is not SS, so I believe this is USB 2, Kensington lock, and LAN connector. Close together again. Okay, let's turn the laptop on and let's see what do we have. Now it's funny because this, seriously, this LCD, this is a brand new, and you can hear that the LCD is dirty. How? Seriously, how? So what do we have? Keyboard is, well, I believe it's a standard HP. It is a bit shallow, but it does seem like it's nice to type on. This is the Fingerprint Reader. Touchpad, which does not have any buttons, so probably left and right. And I believe it only has one button, so basically the text where you press your finger on the left and the right side. So that's the way it determines whether it is left or right click, I assume, because as you can see there is only one click, and here there is nothing. Okay, let's turn it on, although I do believe that the battery will be empty. So I will need to connect it and to, well, initially configure it, connect to my wireless network, and we'll test the speakers. And as you can see, the LCD is not glossy, which I kind of like very much. And this is the camera, which, well, HD video camera. So this is by default, and these are microphones, I believe. Okay, this is booting quite fast, but then again it has an SSD, so I will be going through setup, which I won't be showing you, unfortunately, because this is a business laptop and I'm not at liberty to show you, well, everything. Okay, before I start, I just entered the username and password and whatnot, and I can tell you that I don't like this keyboard. I feel that it is way too shallow. Now, for example, I have this laptop in front of me as well, which is the EliteBook, and this keyboard is way better. Seriously, this keyboard is way nicer to type. I have a feeling that these keys go a bit more, I would say, inside, unlike these keys, which yeah, I must say I'm not impressed at the moment. I have a feeling as if when I press the keys that they do not jump back as they should. So, for example, I have 2 zeros in my wireless password, and when I press 0, and I type quite fast, so when I press 0 I have a feeling that I've only pressed once and not twice. Very strange keyboard. These are the first impressions. Okay. Okay, I would say that it is loud, definitely, but I have a feeling that compression just lowers the lowers the strength of the speakers. So I have a feeling that somehow there's like some kind of post-processing enabled by default, and in order for sound not to sound shitty, they just lower the well, everything, the bass and everything that it is in the song. So yeah, I'm not quite sure. You know what? I'll make a parallel test actually with MacBook. Let's test it with Mac. Okay, now before all of you say that this is a Mac, I get it. Different price range, different everything, so I get that. But let's just see what is the difference in the in the sound quality itself. Whether this thing actually compresses sounds a lot, or so as you can see, yeah, this one is definitely, yeah, but as you can hear this post-processing which actually occurred, so song sounds shittier, way shittier than on a Mac. Well, anyway, okay, again, this was just a test, and yeah, I get it that it's not something to compare these two. These are two different tools, definitely, and price ranges and whatnot, but I just wanted to hear whether this is the problem with the song or with the post-processing, and I believe that this is the actually problem with the post-processing, so that you might actually be able to turn it off, because nowadays they put effects on everything and for no reason whatsoever. Okay, the test is done. Now when I dumped the BIOS before, I actually did test on my other network wireless, and wireless is, well, I believe that the range is default. There's nothing much better or nothing much worse when it comes to standard. Okay, so let's take a look at the specification. So as I stated before, this is Intel Core i5 CPU, 7200U, 2.5 MHz, so 2.17.1 is, I believe, Turbo Boost maybe, or single core, I'm not quite sure. 8 gigs of RAM, 64-bit OS. It has already been activated since this version of laptop did arrive with the key which was embedded in BIOS. Now let's take a look at biometric devices. So yeah, Synaptics, I believe FP is fingerprint, Bluetooth is default. Okay, these drives, okay, I have connected my USB stick and SanDisk drive. Let's test this drive to see how fast this drive actually is. Okay, so let's start, and after the snap everything will be done. So unlike the Toshiba one which we tested in the Elite book, this one is, I believe, quite default. There is nothing special about it. Don't get me wrong, it's not a bad hard drive, however, just, well, nothing special. So let's go back to the display info. Now this thing has Intel HD graphics 620, which is, well, of the 7th generation CPU, and it has NVIDIA GeForce 930 MX. Now I'm not quite sure whether this is good or bad. You should Google it if you're interested in it. Firmware, controllers, imaging devices, which is HP camera, probably trusted platform chip or something like that. Generic plug-and-play monitor. This is a full HD screen. It is a bit pale, I would say, but yeah. Okay, so let's take a look at the network adapters. So basically we have a wireless card. This is Realtek, Bluetooth, nothing special, as I said. Okay, let's close this thing and let's take a look at the reproduction of video. So first of all, let's try with 720p. I'm using Media Player Classic Home Cinema 64-bit. Okay, there will be no problem whatsoever with this reproduction. Okay, that's definitely nothing to show. Let's take a look at Full HD. This is the birdie pigeon. Again, no problems whatsoever, and as well as expected. And you can actually hear that the fan did start to spin a bit. Now this laptop is getting hot and I'm not doing basically anything with it. Okay. Now for the 4K. This will be an adventure, but I think that this thing will work. Okay, so this is actually a bit glitchy. I don't know whether you can see it or not, so frame rate is lost. Now bear in mind that this thing is on the power, but let's take a look if we can maybe, and the laptop is getting quite warm. The fan did just start to spin. Now let's see whether we can maybe choose okay, run with NVIDIA, high default, high performance NVIDIA. Okay, now let's see whether this thing will be better or not. Yeah, basically it is the same as with HD. So this reproduction is not, well, this is actually well, quite glitchy, unlike the Elite book with Core i7. So there you have it. This thing is actually not that good. Now bear in mind this might be due to Media Player Classic Home Cinema. That is pretty much it. I will be now installing Office and all everything that should be installed into this laptop, and we'll taking it to work tomorrow because, well, again, it is not my laptop. So there you have it. If you like, if you dislike, dislike. If you have any comments, leave it, well, down below. If you have any suggestions on how to improve my videos, please say so. Again, leave a comment. And if you like my channel, please subscribe, and I'll try to give you, well, better videos in better quality and, well, whatnot. Have a good day.